Hey guys, welcome back to another FPL strategy stream session. You may notice that I'm not joined by Olivia this week. She's on vacation in the US, but filling in for her is the brilliant Gianni. Gianni, thank you so much for helping on my channel 2 times in 1 week. I feel so honored.
No, all good. Good to be here. I hope I can fill the hot seat well enough for a week only, you know.
I'm sure you will be amazing. So kind of just to get right into it, I want to know kind of your strategy right now. So 3 players that you think are must owns for everybody to have in their team, and then maybe a couple of differential players as well that you have your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so exciting at the moment. Like, we all start our FPL seasons thinking we're going to have like fairly good balance, like a premium attacker, maybe a couple of premium midfielders and one premium defender. But at the moment, like the premium defenders are just absolutely smashing it. So there's guys at the back, the likes of Cancelo, Reece James. These guys are around, say, 6 million, right? Compare what they are doing to 6 million midfielders, and it's just a no-brainer that you're going to stock up on the back. So look, at the moment, before the Chilwell injury in the week, I was thinking my top 5 FPL players that are kind of must-haves right now. I was thinking Salah, sure, of course. And then it was the 4 fullbacks: Reece James, Chilwell, Cancelo, and Trent. Like the 5 must-own players in FPL a few days back, before the Chilwell injury, 4 of them are defenders. But what does that Chilwell injury do? I mean, I think it's a like for like in terms of Alonso. Maybe not quite as explosive a return as Chilwell's been getting, but we know Alonso is going to come into that position. So we look at Alonso and go, okay, we've got a 5.6 million defender here who's playing as a left forward or midfielder, right? So yes, he's a bit cheaper than Chilwell, and his returns might not be as good, but they'll be good. We know Alonso has got amazing pedigree, so I think he's a great tip right now, Alonso, and he's become a bit of a differential. But I have no doubt a lot of the Chilwell sellers will, of course, go to Alonso. But there's a lot that own Chilwell that don't own Reece James or don't own Trent or don't own Cancelo, so they're of course going that direction.
Yeah, I unfortunately brought Chilwell out of my team before last week because I was like, oh, this Chelsea double up. I don't know how I feel about it. I just got screwed over against Burnley. But after seeing how we played, especially against Juventus in the Champions League, I think really it looks so strong. And like you were saying, I'm quite upset with my attack right now. I truly don't know what to do with it because I'm just not getting returns there. And so I feel like the defense, like you said, is where the points are at. I want to talk about some specific players that I feel like are very highly owned, but perhaps we do want to look into transferring them out. So the first one is Antonio. I've had him since the very beginning, but he has blanked in a couple of game weeks recently. And looking at his upcoming fixtures, he has at least 3 quite difficult ones facing City, Chelsea, and Arsenal in his next 5 fixtures. So do you think that it's a time to sell Antonio and kind of take out that return and, you know, hope to sell him before the price goes down again? Or are you going to hold on to him?
I know, and he's made us look like, if you've been on Antonio since day one, you've probably made good money on him, right? I think it is time to cash in. The fixtures aren't great, and also the Christmas schedule is going to be very busy. And we know with Antonio, he's been rested when he's played in the Europa League quite often. Like on Thursday night, he was rested. In the Premier League, I don't know if he's going to be up for playing Wednesday, Saturday through that festive period. So he will inevitably miss 1 or 2 games anyway. Then you look at his fixtures and you look at the fact that in recent weeks he's not been performing. And I think it might be time to sell him, but with a view to maybe bringing him back in 5-6 weeks games time when those fixtures turn. Because West Ham do go on a nice run in like 5-6 game weeks time. But for now, I mean, I sold him last night. I sold him, and I've actually gone for Harry Kane. I had also sold Kai Havertz down to an enabler, Gilmore at 4.4, which allowed the funds from Antonio to Kane. And I think someone like Kane is a better option just because you're going fixtures. We know Kane is very likely to play 90 every week. He's someone that can. If you're looking for someone in the same price bracket, though, then I think both Callum Wilson and at Newcastle with Eddie Howe coming in there, and I think Jimenez at Wolves for the next couple of weeks, they've both got really good fixtures. Wolves' fixtures do turn. They've got Norwich and Burnley next, which is amazing for Jimenez, and then it turns. But if you want a 2-week punt, Jimenez, or maybe someone slightly longer, Wilson.
Interesting. That is brilliant because I have Huang from.
Ah, do you? You've got Wolves attack already.
I know, and I kind of was like, oh, I want to make this a differential, and it has not paid off. So that's why I was not so keen to go on Jimenez and double up on Wolves attack. But maybe Callum Wilson could be a good shout because I do want to sell Antonio. You spoke about bringing in Harry Kane. Spurs have very favorable fixtures. So do you recommend that people bring in a Spurs asset? I personally have Son because I thought that maybe he might return, and also with the idea that I eventually want to bring Lukaku in again as my premium forward. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, like part of the draw for Kane for me was I didn't have a premium attacker. I had Jimenez, Antonio, and Tony. So I've got 3 forwards at similar prices. And I'm thinking when Lukaku is in the 11 or when Ronaldo is starting to really bang, when United's fixtures get better in the next couple of weeks, I want that flexibility to just go, I can go Lukaku or Ronaldo straight away, right? And if I've got Kane as a placeholder in that premium forward spot, it makes it very easy to do that. So whilst I'm not blown away by Spurs, and if you're on Son, you're probably holding him because the fixtures are good. But outside of Harry Kane, there isn't a Spurs asset I would go, I want to go cover them, I'm going to go buy. Only reason it's Kane is because it's the whole talisman theory. It's like, who is the talisman for that football club? Who will get goals? And we know Antonio Conte number 9s get goals. We saw it at Chelsea, Diego Costa. We saw it at Inter with Lukaku. Kane will get good numbers. So Kane has Burnley, Brentford, Norwich in the next 3. Those 3 games are unbelievable. Like Kane has a really good record against newly promoted teams as well. Brentford, Norwich, both newly promoted. I think he's on something like 40 goals in 40 games or very similar against newly promoted teams. He's a bit of a flat track bully. And therefore, despite the fact he played in Slovenia on Thursday night and he played 90 and it was an away game, I still think he will play 90 every game because it's Harry Kane. He just tends to do that.
Oh, now you're making me feel like I should have gone in for Kane instead of Son.
Yeah, it's such a hard one because if you've got Son, you're probably not going to sell him. But if you don't have either, it is, for me, if you don't have either, Kane's the one you want. But Son is a very dangerous player that, again, if you sell him, he could really sting you. So it's a tough one.
I know, that's the thing. And I was thinking, like, I was trying to look at the season as a whole, and I felt that Harry Kane hasn't been in the form that we know that he can be in. So that's why I went for Son, because I felt like maybe he's really stepping up when Harry Kane is not in the best form of his life. And I loved the fixtures and I loved Antonio Conte, but he hasn't returned for me yet. But let's see. So, guys, if you don't have any Spurs asset in your team, go for Kane. If you have hold on to him. You brought up Manchester United's fixtures, and really they look so good after game week 17 right now. They're quite difficult, but looking ahead to game week 17, they have such favorable fixtures. What United assets are you thinking about bringing into your side, if any?
I mean, I'm excited for United fans. I'm excited for you guys because look, it could be a really exciting appointment with Ralph Rangnick, and it's going to be a very different style of football to what they've been used to. And with that style, I wonder if there'll be certain players, and we go, really built for his system. But it takes a very long time to get a new philosophy out there. So I look at United at the moment and think, still no new coach on the touchline. That would be Michael Carrick at the weekend. I still think there's issues in that squad. So for me, I'm not going to bring any United players in despite the fixtures until I see better performances. So I am waiting on that. And I want to see them capable of scoring, 3-4 goals a game until I'm sold on, say, a Ronaldo. Now, I know that sounds silly because Ronaldo is going to tick along nicely and get you points. But whilst there's players like Lukaku and Kane out there that have got good fixtures and potentially, maybe not Kane, but Lukaku is in a team that's firing, I prefer these assets. I need to see United looking better. And to be fair, I've got no doubt they will. And when they hit that good fixture run in a couple of weeks' time, no doubt it will be someone we're looking to bring in, United cover. No doubt it will be Ronaldo, but I just would also probably look at the likes of Bruno because of his pedigree in FPL. And I think the likes of Jadon Sancho could be one to look out for. It'll be interesting. Sancho did so well in the Bundesliga, has a German coach that knows that league very well. He might really rate Sancho and kind of go, look, this is my main man here. He scored in the Champions League, of course. Sancho is definitely one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it could be a potentially good differential as well. So I'm just looking at my team right now, and I'm so upset about it. What do you think is like the transfer to make this week if you're only going to make one transfer and say
Who are your defenders?
All right, I'll walk you through my team and you give me your advice. I have Cancelo, James, Trent, Livramento, Salah, Son, Gallagher, Rafinha, Vardy, Hwang, Antonio, and then 2 bench players.
Oh, okay. I would sell Antonio. Your defense is good, and your midfield's well covered. I do think Antonio needs to go with those fixtures. Like you look at that 11 and think, is he getting? Can you see him scoring more than a goal in the next 2-3 games? I'm not sure you can. Therefore, if I'm selling Antonio, I know you've already got Hwang, but I do like Wolves and Jimenez for Norwich and Burnley. Like I could see Wolves scoring 2 or 3 goals in that game, and maybe Hwang assists Jimenez or vice versa. Or maybe you bring in Jimenez and look to sell Hwang in a couple of weeks. Because if you do want a Wolves striker, for me, Jimenez is the one. I know why you went Hwang, differential, low price, was showing some really good signs. But yeah, I don't mind that move at all. Or maybe you look at Callum Wilson, but I think Antonio out.
Antonio out. I'm thinking, do I bring Marcos Alonso in this week? I've been taking so many minus like 4s and 8s because I'm just so annoyed with my team, and I need to like restrain myself a little bit to not do that anymore.
I'm looking at a -4 as well, though. I feel your pain there. Like I probably take a 4-point hit every 3 or 4 game weeks, I'd say on average, maybe 4, 5, 6 game weeks. But this week I've got Trent, Cancelo, and Reece James. Great back 3. But I want to play a back 4. And I've got Christensen as a sub. And Christensen's been in and out the Chelsea team. Chalobah's been playing well. And I'm thinking the 4-point hit for Christensen to Alonso, I've got the money to do it, just seems to make sense. Because I do think Alonso comes straight into this team, right? And if he does come straight into the team, and we think he's going to play in the vast majority of games, Chilwell's out, 90% of them, then there's just points there because he just shoots all the time, right? What we love in FPL is greedy players. Alonso is greedy. I love Salah is greedy. Jota's greedy. These guys are so good because they're greedy. For FPL, Alonso is greedy. He shoots all the time.
It's true. I'm just thinking, like, do I take a -4 and United could potentially have a goal in
one of those games? Yeah. And then you've got double Chelsea. I would see the -4 as not just for this week. Moving forward, is that a transfer you think you might not be able to take next week unless you take a 4-point hit this week? So that Alonso fixture for Watford on Wednesday night when Chelsea play Watford, double Chelsea defence looks good then, I would say. But true. So you need to evaluate, is that 4-point hit needed this week? Or can you hold that 4-point hit? Like, could I go Christensen to Alonso next on Tuesday night? Maybe I could, but I think over time, that 4-point hit pays off.
I know. I'm thinking about this. If I transfer out Antonio, I think I don't need the 4-point hit.
Yeah.
But I want it.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're spoiled for choice this season, especially. So many in-demand players, and you know what's going to happen to Alonso if he plays well this weekend or gets points this weekend. Like if he scores 7-8 points, price rise straight away. Like it will happen.
I know.
He's going to be in demand.
I'm being terrible. Like when I tell you I've been taking like -4, I took a -8 twice because I'm a nutter. And -4 is like because I get happy with my team and then it just keeps performing really poorly and I never find a good balance. It is what it is. Like I try to take a risk on some players. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Vardy I thought was going to be a great buy because he had scores like 7 and 7 before I brought him in. And I was like, he's going so under the radar. I'm going to do this. And then he literally has played every single game week since then.
Yeah.
what can you do? But I do want to ask you about captaincy options. There are
Yeah.
quite a few. I think the main one is Salah playing Liverpool play Southampton. Could
Hmm.
also go for Trent. Could
Yeah.
be an interesting captain pick. But do you have anybody else really on your radar for captaincy, or who are you going with?
Do you know what? It's not often we talk about defenders as captaincy options, but this season is showing us that they should be in the mix, right? I can't remember the last time I captained a defender. It would have been years ago. But
Yeah.
last week we spoke about maybe captaining Cancelo, and some people actually did that. And if you captain Cancelo over Salah last week, you made a net profit there. This week it could be the same story with Trent, but still Salah always feels like the sensible option at the moment. And Southampton for Liverpool playing at Anfield, it's just the most Salah fixture for me. Like that could be, you wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool go score 4 goals and Salah's involved in 2 of them, right? So Trent's a nice option, but Salah definitely has to be the primary candidate. If you're looking for a differential captain, I think Jota could be a nice differential. He was rested in the week for Liverpool in the Champions League. Jota's a really nice punt. But I would definitely get captain Salah. I mean, owning Jota enough could be enough.
Yeah. I always have been making Salah my captain, but I feel like I've just been falling more and more in the ranks. So I'm like, should I do a differential captain
So
and
different.
go for a Trent, which I don't think is so risky, but it's just if they don't keep a clean sheet, then it is quite
You're
risky.
relying on attacking returns, aren't you, to be happy? Like if he gets 6, gets his clean sheet and no bonus, you're probably disappointed because Salah you'd back to get more than 6. But Trent is getting these attacking returns. I mean, was it 2 assists last time out? Like he's also getting bonus points galore. Like in terms of those 3 bonus points, Trent performs way better in the BPS than Salah. Salah actually is quite poor at bonus points unless he's scoring goals. In games he doesn't score, Salah is never anywhere near the bonus. And even when he scores, like last week he scored, still didn't get a bonus point. Trent gets bonus points for fun. So I always do consider that.
One to consider for sure. But Gianni, thank you so much. I feel like we covered a lot. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Sounds good. Lovely to be on, and good luck, FPL managers. It's going to be a good game week.
Yes, it definitely is. Guys, pray for my team, please. that I finally have a good game week for once. I don't know what's going on this season, but it is what it is. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really hope that you enjoyed this chat and that was helpful. If you want any tips, feel free to @ me on Twitter or comment in the comment box down below. And yeah, until next time, I'm out.